Hi, I'm Todd Burrier, and this little video is to talk about one of the keys to communicating extremely effectively in leadership. And this is where there are so many breakdowns. You know, when you think about the people that you lead in your organization that work for you, these are real people. Right? These are real people with real needs. And in order to get the best out of those people, right, they have to feel like they matter. And your communication, every point of communication that you have with anyone that works for you is huge because you're under a microscope in leadership. They're not looking at you for how great you are. And you have to understand that people don't typically leave companies. Yes, that does happen if there's not enough opportunity for those that are really trying to climb. But in general, people leave people. And they leave people who don't make them feel of value, right? That is the number one thing you want to do, is help people feel their value. And think about this in leadership. Everyone is thinking about, why should I listen to you, right? Do you care about me, and why should I listen to you? And I know you say, well, it's because their job, they got to do, right? Yeah, that's a formal consequence. If you have to rely on formal consequences, you're not leading, right? Then people are only doing what they have to do because they have to do it, not because they want to do it. True leaders cultivate in people that they want to do the work. They want to do well. They want to help you do well, but you have to address them in the proper way. And there are 5 specific keys in your leadership communication: that people feel valued, that they feel understood, that they feel involved, that they feel connected, and that they feel supported. Now, I'm not going to address all 5 of these right now because this is a deeper topic that I will train and teach in a very deep way when I work with groups and management teams. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the valued piece, because this is something that's really important to recognize. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but 85% of the population struggles with self-esteem. 85%. I actually think that figure is low, even though it's based on tons of research, because I think there's a lot of people that won't admit it. And I also believe that even people who excel in their job have areas of esteem issues, right? They have insecurities that they're constantly dealing with. So you could make the case that basically 99% of the population struggles with it. I don't include the 1%, because there is like a 1% that just, they don't struggle with this kind of stuff. I wouldn't be one of those people, so I wouldn't be able to speak to that. But going back to this idea, often too much leadership communication is catching someone doing something wrong, not catching them doing something right. And so let's say you did catch someone doing wrong. You have to recognize that, they make a mistake, they make an error, they already feel bad about this, right? And they're already struggling with low self-esteem. If you looked at your job from the perspective of building people's belief in self, man, you could grow an intensely strong workforce, because that's one of the biggest issues people have. They have minimal self-belief. They've been beaten down their whole life by society and how many negative messages they've gotten about themselves, and they just don't come to you as this confident, I can do it all kind of person. That is just not who you're hiring. And to think that's who you're hiring is a mistake, right? So when they make a mistake, you have to protect their self-esteem. You've got to preserve whatever measure of it is, because you have to recognize that people are rarely going to remember what you said. They're just going to remember how you made them feel. And when someone makes someone feel good, they like to be around that person. They like to perform well for that person. They'll run through walls for that person. And that's part of how you get to the place where people want to follow you. They want to do a good job. They want to see you excel too. And so when you are dealing with someone who has made a mistake, first of all, they're not the mistake, right? They made a mistake, but they are not the mistake. And that has to be ferreted out so that they don't feel like it defines them. You have to protect their self-esteem at the same time you're helping them improve the performance. So that's the first thing you have to keep in mind. And the second thing is you got to catch them doing some stuff right, because you have to look for opportunities to lift their self-esteem, grow their self-belief, grow their self-confidence. Because when you do that, man, you'll start to uncover some great stuff in your people, things that you didn't even know were there, that only comes from taking the time to invest and communicate properly with them in ways that grow people and raise people. So that's just one of the 5. Look for things they do right Give them the praise when the time is right. Make sure the praise is proper, that it's very specific, not good job. Don't do good job, right? Because if you do that all the time, then nobody believes that that means anything. It's got to be specific. It's got to be on time. It's got to be relatively close to when they did it. Do it in front of peers, right? So that other people also, you get the double whammy of that. You get that person feeling really good, right? Raising their chest, raising their chin a little bit. But also you have other people that go, I'd like to get some of that. I'd like to do that too, right? You then can inspire other performance just by helping to lift this one person. So I hope that was a helpful little nugget for you. If you want to know more about leadership communication, or it's an area you want to train, just reach out to me and I'm happy to talk to you about it.